Today is Monday, May 4th, 2026. This is the week leading up to Mother's Day. And I just wanted to share a couple of testimonies of how the Lord helped me and my husband to raise our children over the years. Hoping that maybe something I share might be inspirational, might be encouraging, may impart words of wisdom to you. But this is my testimony. There used to be a time as we were growing up in church where we used to actually have a portion of the service, what we used to call testimony service. And it would give you an opportunity to stand and to share something that God had done for you, maybe during the past week, or just sharing something that He had done for you in your life at any point of time. We don't have that anymore, but God is still giving people testimonies. And we have to be creative now with finding opportunities to share those testimonies that God has given us, because that's the purpose of them. When God gives you a testimony, we need to share it with someone because you never know how it may help someone on their journey. And so just want to share with you, some thoughts about being a parent. I'm not an expert, just sharing what I've experienced over the years. So my husband and I, we've been married 41 years. This year make 41. We tried to have children the first few years of our marriage, but we were having difficulties getting pregnant. And the first time I got pregnant, we had been married maybe about 10 years. I can't remember exactly how far along we had gone, but it was a while before we got pregnant that we're aware of for the first time. And that pregnancy lasted for 5 months, and then we lost the baby. That was a very hurting thing. It was a very trying time, especially it being our first, and we were really looking forward to having that child and losing it. But just know that God gave us strength and helped us to go through that. And then we had another miscarriage after that. Maybe at about 2 months pregnant, we lost that one. So we had two miscarriages. Then we got pregnant with our first daughter. When I had her, we had been married for 12 years. So we kind of started late in life. And so that was a very difficult pregnancy. I was on bed rest near the last couple of months because I was just having all kinds of problems and issues. She was born a few weeks early, and they thought they were going to have to keep her in the hospital. But they really didn't have to keep her in there as long as they thought they did. So that was a blessing because they thought they were going to have to keep her for several weeks, when in actuality they only had to keep her for 12 days. And then she was able to come home because she had made good progress to the point where they felt safe sending her home. Then after we gave birth to that first daughter, then we had two more miscarriages. And then we got pregnant with our second child who was born, the middle child. And then a couple of years later, we got pregnant with the third child, which was a surprise because I really felt like I was too old to have children by that time. So that was a surprise. And I remember praying and asking the Lord because we had two girls already. And I really wanted to have a son because I married a good man. And I felt like, if you have a good man, you need to have a son so that that man can raise him to be a good man. And so that was the desire of my heart to have a son. And I asked the Lord. Now, if He had gave me a daughter, I still would have been happy. I still would have been pleased. But I just really wanted a boy because I wanted my husband to raise him to be a gentleman. And so the Lord granted that desire. And we had our third child. I was 41 when I gave birth to him. By that time, I was tired. I was really tired, but I was grateful for a son, and the Lord gave me the strength that I needed to do what I had to do as a mother. Raising children. I used to work before we had children. I was in the workforce for a while. But when I started having children, I really wanted to stay home with them so that I could do what needed to be done. Now, I know that's not possible for everyone, but I wanted to do that. That was a desire in my heart, to stay home and to take care of my children. It wasn't easy. It was very difficult, especially financially. But as I look back over that now, I see that God continued to make ways. Even though we struggled a lot of times, He still made ways. We didn't go hungry. We had a roof over our head. We had what we needed. And so I'm so grateful that I was able to do that. To be at home with them, to be able to take them back and forth to school, to be able to volunteer while they were in school, to support them, and different things like that. So that the God really worked that out for us, that I was able to stay home. And I would encourage, if you want to stay home, if you can. Like I said, it's not going to be easy. But it is worth it. It is so worth it. If I had the opportunity to do it over again, I would do it over again. I would stay home with them. Again, I know it's not possible for everyone, but if you can, it's a blessing to be able to stay home with your children. And so one of the things I want to focus on in my testimony today is watching your children while they're growing up and observing and seeing the gifts that possibly could be in them, that the Lord has put in them, because the Lord has given all of us gifts and talents and things like that. And you watch your children as they're growing up and see the things that they gravitate toward, that they like. Okay, so to begin with, my oldest daughter, she was just like any other child. She watched all the little cartoons on TV when she was growing up, but we noticed that she took a liking to cooking shows and baking shows, which was not normal for an elementary student to take interest in that. She would love watching cooking and baking shows. So when we saw that that's what she liked, we ran with it and we said, well, let's help her develop that because that's what she likes. And so I think we put her in a couple of cooking classes, not many, but just a few. And then she really liked baking. And I remember there was this famous bakery on TV, Carlos Bakery Bake Shop. And he specialized in cakes and cupcakes and things like that. And I remember for her 12th birthday that it was either her 12th or 13th. It might have been her 13th birthday. He was located in New Jersey. And so we surprised her by taking her to that bakery shop. And it was so popular at the time that we literally waited in line probably about 2 hours before we even actually set foot in the bakery shop. He wasn't present, but it was exciting for her to even be there, to know that, hey, she's watched this on television and now she's actually here in this bakery. So that kind of helped her. And when she was in high school, she was attending a high school that specialized in trades. And one of the trades that they offered was a culinary class. And so she was able to participate in that culinary class for a few years. When she graduated, she got a full scholarship to a community college, and she was able to take up culinary arts, and she ended up getting a degree in her culinary arts. She was able to work in a restaurant for several years. Now she's doing other things, but she still has those culinary skills under her belt, and she loves cooking, and I love her to cook. There are special dishes that she makes that we always request of her to make for us. So that's how we helped her to develop her gift. My middle child, she liked doing nails. She took a liking to doing her nails, painting her nails, decorating them, sometime putting artificial nails on, sometime just painting her nails. She got so good at it till the little girls around the neighborhood would come for her to do their nails. And so we said that my husband and I said that, okay, this is what we're going to help her develop. This is what she wants to do. She likes doing nails. Unfortunately, though, she was diagnosed with brain cancer at the age of 9. She battled the disease, and the Lord called her home at the age of 11 in 2014. But up until that time, she still did nails. She still did the girls' nails in the neighborhood when she was physically able to. Then our third child, my son, while he was growing up, we observed him getting 2 pencils and beating on the floor, and just whatever he could find to beat on is what he would do. And so my husband and I said, okay, he looks like he's interested in music, playing the drums. Okay, so let's help him develop that. And I remember he was still, I don't even know if he had started kindergarten yet. He might have, at about 5 or 6. And my husband and I decided, let's get him a drum set. My husband went way out, okay, and spent money for a professional drum set for a 5-year-old. So I was like, what are we doing? But anyway, he wanted to have the best because he wanted him to go for it. And he did. He played it. We didn't put him in lessons, but he pretty much figured out how to do it on his own. And so we continued to let him do instruments. And he was able to attend a magnet school where he took up cello. He started out with violin. The teacher changed him to cello. And he was also able to take instruction in percussion instruments. So he did that throughout elementary school. And as he progressed up to junior high and high school, he started participating in bands. And that is where his heart was. He loved participating in the bands, the marching bands. I remember one year the teacher asked him to help volunteer during the summer, helping students that were coming into the school. And so he was volunteering during the summer. And I think that's where his love really, really developed, and where he decided that he wanted to help develop band students. He said, those that are coming into junior high, those that are entering into high school, because he really enjoyed that, helping them to develop their skills and to prepare and to get ready to participate in the school bands for the football games and whatever else they had. And so he did all of that until he graduated high school. And then he's in college now, and he is majoring in music education, and he's doing very well. He's excelling in it. He's part of a community orchestra, a professional community orchestra, where he plays, and he's been helping. That community orchestra teaches children from when they're very young, and then when they're in junior high, and then when they're in high school. And if you even want to go further, then you can be a part of the adult orchestra, which is what he's part of. So he did grow up in that program throughout the stages. And now he goes back. He's been requested by them and asked by them to help train the children. So he's training the children in the same program that he trained in as he was growing up, and helped him get to where he is today. So the purpose of this, my testimony today, is to encourage you and to inspire you to really observe your children when they're growing up. Look at what they're doing, what they're interested in, and kind of help develop that. Because, I didn't want my children to do what I wanted them to do. My husband didn't want them to do what he wanted. We didn't want to live vicariously through them. We wanted them to do what they enjoyed, so that they could be successful at it. And so we did the best to our ability to help them do that. So, that's for today. I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm going to come back and share some more of my testimony leading up to Mother's Day 2026. So thank you for stopping by, and you be blessed.